Coming up on this episode of Fat and Hairy One-Legged Biker, I find a campsite outside of Leadville, and it starts to rain, and I talk about all kinds of reasons why I love hammock camping over tent camping, and I also confront my loud and annoying neighbor for being loud and annoying. Coming up.
Oh, you want me to turn it down?
I'd like you to turn it way down.
Okay, you got it.
Or put earbuds in or something. Last time I camped outside of Salida, Colorado, in a really nice camp spot with too many people, so I decided to go north for cooler temperatures and hopefully less people. But that didn't really work out too well. But I found a nice camp spot. One big tip if you spend any time in Leadville is take these back roads here, just a couple of blocks off the main drag, but the main drag will take you 10 minutes to get through town because of two silly crosswalks that nobody ever stops from going across, so it'll really slow you down. But here I am following this 50cc loud, obnoxious bike with dude riding his girlfriend two up. It's pretty funny.
Rednecks in Leadville, you gotta love them. Got a bunch of junk food and liquor. We'll get liquored up tonight. I'm afraid I may need liquor. All these people coming in. Probably coming in at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning, waking everybody up. But so far, the temperatures are much cooler. We're at 10,000 feet. There's snow on the mountains up here. I bet it's going to be in the 40s tonight. I have to put some pants on. In addition to my sweater.
I was pretty excited to be up this high, just outside of Leadville. The commute was really nice. The weather was good. It rained every day about 3 o'clock for a few minutes, but it was, other than that, it was nice. I was right on the river.
Did you see your boys almost stick me as I rode by earlier?
Going into town, one of the construction workers almost hit me with his rake. He didn't see I was there. He didn't know his rake was extended that far, but he almost got me, and I just want to let that guy know. And of course, you can see by the smile on my face that I'm having a blast up here. I really enjoyed riding around this area. It's very beautiful, lakes everywhere, and I came across this guy running with a donkey.
I know.
I'd never seen this before, but it turned out I'd seen him several times before I left camp. And I finally discovered that there is a very well-known group of races in this area, and it's very fascinating. You have to run with your donkey several miles up through the mountains here. It's a pretty interesting little race that 3 towns share. And most of you will know, bottom line, this is 100% my fault. When I rolled in here, I thought, man, this thing could be covered up with people on the weekends. This might be a bad idea, but I thought the combination of the proximity of the river and the shade, the proximity to town, and I'm thinking, man, I can deal with this. I just need to get liquored up every night, and I just don't think it was enough. I don't know that there's anything you can do to hide from the noise that these people make. And it's not all of them. It's a very small percentage. It's less than 10% of the people are causing 95 to 100% of the racket and the noise. And it's just one of those things that I want to share my experience, because even if you don't feel like I do, even if you feel like you can go to a campground and put up with this stuff and it doesn't bother you, I think that everybody should be aware that people like me do. It bothers me greatly, as you will see more coming up. But these campers over on the left, turns out I knew one of them, and I'll talk more about that later. Just started looking across the road here, and it started looking like, wow, the mountains are on fire. If you look closely, it looks like there's smoke coming out of the top of the mountain. And then, all that red, it does look like the mountains are on fire. But that's okay. There's enough snow up there to melt and put it all out.
Been a very, very chilled afternoon. I've got a couple of new folks that came in and replaced all the chaos that left Sunday, but they're very quiet. I don't know, these guys over here popped up their tents. I haven't seen them since. I think they're up there at a party. There's a group of nomads up there. I can't remember what they call themselves, but there's a painting on the side of the road, and I wanted to stop and ask them what it was all about. But it's a very tight-packed group up there. Mostly looks like RVs. He described them as nomads. Well, the guy stopped by my campus, invited me. He said, we're mostly from Quartzsite, and we have live music. We just had potluck. I was like, that sounded pretty good, but I just wanted to chill tonight. Maybe before I split. Probably gonna split Thursday, Friday at the latest. Thursday, usually people start trickling in on Thursday. And, it's mostly Colorado people. But yeah, it's very quiet now, except for that jet that's flying over. That's the way I like it. This is the way I like to live. Just the sound of the wind and the birds and an occasional jet flying over. And the creek. Forgot to talk about the creek. Yeah, so I got a tire coming in on Wednesday. It's Monday. Tire's coming in on Wednesday, hopefully. Get that front tire replaced, and then I'm mobile. I can roll somewhere else. I'm thinking I've probably had close to enough of Leadville, although the weather is really great here. I never get hot. It gets cold at night, and sometimes it gets cold at 5 o'clock. I mean, I crawled into my hammock at 4 today because it was cold. The wind was blowing. It was cold. I think it was like 65. Usually when I wake up, it's really cold. It's 40s, mid 40s. But I just wait for the sun to hit, and then I get up and it's like, this is great. So this is a good spot, except there's just too many spots that are close to me. Like, I can imagine people just parking everywhere around me, having 20 other campers in this spot where I'm at. I can just imagine it. I don't want to have to put up with screaming kids for another day. I can go find a place to hide. In fact, I may even go up the mountain. I make up, I can't remember, Hagerman Pass. I thought I went up the other day, and then I hit a sign on the way down that said Hagerman Pass, 13 miles this way. And I'm like, is that not what I just did? It's a pretty small pass. I mean, it's 10,000 feet. I'm sure it could be 11,000 feet at the place that I rolled over pretty easily. No, it couldn't be 12,000. It could have been 11,000. It still seemed really small though. Circled the lake. I might have to look at that on a map. I may want to do that again tomorrow if the weather's okay. I think tomorrow's the worst day for weather, I don't know. I'm going to hit the sack here shortly, brush my teeth, and then call it a day. Well, my neighbors behind me decided it was time to crank up the bluegrass. So I'm probably going to have to go over there and say something to them. Let's see what happens.
Chasing demons.
It's going great till you cranked up the bluegrass.
Oh, you want me to turn it down?
I'd like you to turn it way down.
Okay, you got it.
Or put earbuds in or something. Oddly, that guy was really cool. I didn't expect that. He's like, yeah. He turned it down. It was still too loud. He's jamming over there. He said we crank it up
We cranked it up the other night. Oh, that's the other thing he said. He said, I said, there's plenty of spots where you're not gonna bother anybody. He said, well, up there, up the hill, they got the festival. And I was like, yeah, that's the perfect place for you. He said, no, they don't want us up there. And I was like, why not? He said, because they like acoustic. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of strange. They don't want your music up there. But there you go, we don't like your kind of music. You expect everybody else to love your kind of music. He was playing bluegrass. That's what I told him. It's like, I like bluegrass, just not while I'm trying to take a nap, not while I can hear it over my earbuds. And I was like, that's the bad thing. I was like, but there's places you can go far enough out, you're not gonna bother anybody with your music. Anyway, obviously I thought they were here for the festival because I haven't seen much of them at all at camp. But yeah, very interesting. I'm glad I got that on film. I wish I'd have had the whole interaction, but we actually started clicking, and at that point, I should have turned the camera back on, but I was like, yeah, we're actually clicking. We're agreeing. We understand each other. Anyway, interesting. That is a festival up there. That's what the guy invited me to, and I was like, people. Here's a funny story about your camping neighbors. My camping neighbors. I got old boy to turn his music down over here to where I could barely hear it through my earbuds. I could still hear it, but it wasn't bothering me because I could hear what I was watching on my phone. But I don't know, 10-15 minutes later, the volume went back up. Odd. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just one song. So 15, 20, 30 minutes went by, and the volume was still up. Not quite as much as it was before, but clearly, oh boy, enjoys his loud music. Bluegrass, of course. I told him I didn't mind bluegrass. I like bluegrass. Just, I don't want to hear it over my media in my ears. Anyway, about 45 minutes went by and I had enough. Put my leg on, came over here, started prepping for my shower. And I was going to be discreet. I was going to hang my my ripped tarp up over here. I started repairing it, but it's not completely repaired. I was gonna encircle my little bathing area so nobody could see me unless they walked right down this path, which people have done, but there's not really anybody here. This guy is gone riding his bicycle. Anyway, I decided once I got set up here, I was like, I'm not going to be discreet. The only people that are going to see me shower, see my dirty fucking hairy ass, are these jerks behind me. So anyway, I started washing my ass, and the music is not only down, it's off. I can't hear the music anymore. Weird how that happens. Yeah, I can get pretty vindictive. Not a fun element of my personality, but it's an element nonetheless. People should know not to fucking push it too far. And this is just stage 2. This one goes up to 11.
Where can you go from there? Where?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder. These go to 11.
I didn't tell the story of the shower. I haven't told that story. This is how, one of the many ways I take outdoor showers is find a big rock that I can sit on and float around on. And of course I've got my dry bag, my black energy absorbing dry bag that I usually heat up with water, creek water in this case, from down there. And I put my chair and my supplies, my change of clothes, my change of liner, and that's my old liner sitting there. I just washed that out. It's going to have to dry before I put it up. Basically, I take my shirt off, my dirty t-shirt or whatever I'm wearing, put that right there to protect my soft, tender rear end from this granite. And then I just start washing. I wash just like everybody else does, except I don't have a shower. But I do have a bag full of water, and this little ladle that doubles as my cookware. But yeah, I just lather up, and then I rinse off, and then I just kind of go from head to toe or toe to head, and then when I get down to this part, I have to take my leg off, have to take my liner off, and then I wash my stump. It's pretty important to keep your stump clean because it's kept in a wet rubber sock all day long. And then when I get done, I put my fresh liner on, which I've already done, and then I wash this one really good. You can see it's got some stains on it, but it's clean. Wash the inside first, then rinse both of them after I've cleaned them out, and then somewhere in between, I put my new fresh clothes on, and those are my dirties. And now all I got to do is clean up my mess and put my wet clothes in my laundry bag. I might air them out first, but I thought somebody might be interested in it. It's a little bit tricky. But yeah, if you can imagine my big hairy ass sitting on this rock washing my balls and ass, and then my stump, and then my hair, and it can be a little bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it helps to have this chair here to keep everything out of the dirt. It helps to have little hand support, so when you want to get up, or if you want to move, I lean over here and get my supplies. I might fall off the rocks if I don't have my leg on. So anyway, just a little bit of an insight on the daily struggles of bathing. Not daily, I don't bathe daily when I'm out in the woods. I don't sweat when I'm out here, so but it is good to wash your hair and your ass and your balls frequently. When everything starts sticking together, when my hair starts sticking together and looking like I'm kind of got that greasy, dirty thing on, and living in a dusty environment here, my greasy hair starts clumping together, and then it just starts coming up like that. It's not pretty. It's not a pretty sight. Neither is my greasy hairy ass and my balls. But some people like it. Here's my friend Chip. What do you got to say about it, Chip? Did you get a good show? Did you feel like you got your money's worth? Just say yes or no. A squeak would be nice. 2 squeaks would be no. Squeak! Say something, Chip. Come on. Don't let me down here. I'm holding out hope that somebody enjoys seeing my naked body. It's times like this that make me very grateful that I've got good quality equipment to camp in. Good quality hammock with a very durable, dependable tarp that keeps me from sitting on the ground where everything is wet. All this came from over there. Just came dripping down. And I just started thinking about my friends over here, my friends that are on the ground, and they're probably not frequent campers, so they probably don't know the ins and outs, the pitfalls of camping in a tent. Hopefully they're not going to freeze their balls off, because I've got nothing to offer them over here. Dry clothes, that's about all I got. Well, they've got a car. They could always get in their car and turn on the heater and go home. I don't know. That's a pretty interesting idea. You could always go home if you're cold and wet. Yeah. Times like these make me really grateful, because I can't just get in my car and go home. I can't get in my car and turn the heater on. I could get on my bike and ride through the mud puddles, while I'm soaking wet. And I'll probably make it out fine, just, you know, I'd have to go to a hotel or something like that. Ugh. Yeah. And it could be worse. It could be 30 degrees and rain. Yeah, it could be much worse, but yeah. You can see I'm shedding water pretty well. Yeah, I'm happy as a clam. Just a little bit cold with my freaking feet hanging out like this, but yeah. I'm thinking about the other people on the ground tonight, because it's going to be raining probably another 2 or 3 hours. And those puddles don't seem to be draining off very well. Anyway, I'm happy as a clam. Did mention that one of the reasons I'm staying here longer than I should is this tire. You can see that notch is not that bad, but it's getting pretty close to that ridge. And of course, I don't like going too far on a bald tire. Well, sometimes I don't. So I just talked to a hiker, came through with his dog, asking him about the layout of the cemetery. It appears that there's 3 cemeteries. This one and this may be the oldest, but you can see it's down here. It's not very well kept. But he said that this trail goes down to the Jewish cemetery. And then down below that is I guess maybe the newer cemetery. I don't know. I know the other one seems a lot more Catholic than this one does. But yeah, I don't know. It's all interesting. I was hoping to find a stealth camp out here close by. He says this is pretty much unused. I may go down this just to see. If it's unused, then they won't mind me camping out there, would they? Early morning pit stop. I am at a picnic area, and there's 2 more campgrounds down this way, I think, and I am scouting for another campsite. I'm not going to another campground, but I figured I took this big loop around the lake the other day and didn't see anything promising. In other words, I could get in the woods, but it's pretty hairy getting in all the places that I looked at. But now I'm starting to expand my search a little bit and going down some other paths. Yeah, I've been at my current camp spot a week today, and I can't imagine going through another weekend at that fucking place. So I'm out scouting stealth camping spots because I can't go to a campground. I can go to a picnic area. This is kind of funny. This is a picnic area, but it says gate closes at 8 o'clock. Of course, no camping in a picnic area, but let's go see what we can find. It's funny. I made a response video yesterday to a couple of people that got upset about me bitching. Imagine the irony. People bitching about me bitching. And I do complain. I'm not going to say I don't, but I think most of my complaints are legit. Oh, wow, that's a good spot up there. But the people were bitching, and I've never seen these people before. It's usually the people that my harshest critics are the people that have never commented before. So I don't know that they ever watched my channel before, honestly. Ooh, that might be a good spot if I can find some trees over there. Wow, look at that view. Wow, that would be well, there's the fucking campground right there. No wonder. Yeah, typically my harshest critics are not my regular viewers. And I could be wrong, but how am I supposed to know they're regular viewers if they never comment? And typically, funny thing, I don't really think it's that funny, but boat ramp. Huh. That's this boat. Camping fee area, camping only. Oh, okay. That is a campground. Campground floor. Okay.
Apparently this is a pretty popular place. Because that private campground at the bottom of the hill is, it appears like it's always occupied. So this is looking promising up here, though. Looking promising, like I could get in the woods and get out without too much difficulty. But there's a lot of deadfall. There's a lot of burn in this area. Man, if I could get a view like that view back there, though, wow. Yeah, but my harshest critics are typically the people that don't watch me. And also, they're harsh critics, and they don't typically respond when there's a deer. Wow. Not by the side of the road. Pretty big one, too. Oh, no. Anyway, my harshest critics, and they do not respond to my replies. So when they leave a nasty comment, I typically respond to people that seem rational. You know, if you don't like what I've got to say on my videos and you have some kind of a rational comment, typically I like to respond to everybody, even the people that I don't know, even people sometimes that don't have positive things to say. Because I am not anti-critic. It's going to be a tricky one. I'm not anti-critic, but sometimes you need to hear criticisms. But most of the time when I reply to these people, they never respond. Like, well, you know, you say this and here's my response. And usually it's with a question. A lot of times it's with a question. What do you mean by that? And what did you know, what would you suggest? How would you have done it? Something like that. But I never get a response from those people. Kind of interesting. I think it's very telling too. I almost think that this carabiner that's attached here is overkill, because I guess a bear could figure that out, but man, that's a heavy door. Yeah, anyway. Reserved. Is it reserved? Looks like they got a shit, camp post in here. I wonder. How rigidly they patrol this area. This is nice. These are nice campgrounds. Very nice campgrounds. Is your little deer? There she is. She's back in the same place, munching. It's always at the top of my list is the view. Does the campsite have a good view? Does it, how accessible is it? Can you get in and out without dying? Really good question. Man, this is really pretty up here. I'm surprised I didn't come in here the other day. I think I was wanting to do Hagerman Pass so bad. That's why I didn't come in. Well, I'm not interested in campgrounds either. And I thought for sure there would be some camping on that loop up there, but obviously there wasn't. Not gonna be able to see how steep this road is, and it's kind of rutted out a little bit. Main thing is it's steep. Oh, this looks like a race. It's part of the race here. The question is, how much further am I going to go up here to find me a couple of trees to hang in? I'm hoping I got a signal up here. because it's kind of a double whammy. I got to do business. I got to be able to answer the phone. But also, if I get in trouble, I got to be able to call somebody to help me get out. I get pinned up under the bike, I could die up here. Sounds all dramatic, hyperbolic. But yeah, I can imagine myself getting pinned up for a freaking motorcycle. So. And this is not steep. That last section back there was steep. And I wonder how slick it gets when it rains. It looks like a pretty good base road, meaning clay and sand, but you never know shit. It's mildly rutted out. Doesn't have a great view yet. But that's kind of why I took this. I was like, man, if I could just get away from crowds. And definitely up here, I would say, gonna get away from the RVs, if nothing else. Maybe the side-by-sides are still gonna come blasting through here, but I'm okay. I'm okay with an occasional dumbass on the side-by-side. Yeah, the road, you just have to pay attention. There's not a whole lot of perils. Gotta either stay in the ruts or stay out of them. This may be what I'm looking for. This may be the opportunity for me to get far enough away from the RVs. The stupid people. The stupid people with low clearance vehicles. But still not finding the paradise of trees that I'm looking for. And I would think if somebody makes it up here and they see me camping at the spot right next to me, then they can move their dumbass in. I would think if they made it up this far, they would have been like, maybe this guy wants to be by himself. Maybe he's not a people person. It's starting to flatten out, which is giving me a little bit of inspiration that there might be something flat-ish at the hill. There's a spot. It's not great. Doesn't have a great view, but it has altitude. It'd be nice if there was just a little bit of a clearing. There was a little path down there too. There's all kinds of markings on the trees up here, and I'm not sure what those markings mean. Like there was a sign on that one back there. Yeah, baby. This might be the spot. Well, it's a little angle there. Private property, no trespassing. Yeah, I knew I was probably close to some of these private property. Let's get up to the top of that hill and see what the signal looks like. Yeah, it's hard for me to explain my transition into a timid rider. It's hard for me to explain that without me sounding like a complete total pussy. This is nice. Damn, there's a lot of little spots up here. What's going on here? Huh. Let me turn around and check out this other spot here without falling down. Yeah, so what I was trying to say is, maybe I should just go back. What I was trying to say is, it's hard for me to explain the pussification that I feel. I feel like I'm pussified. Let me walk around up here a little bit if I have a signal. If I don't have a signal, I need to turn my ass around and go back down. Is Dawn? Oh, hey. What was your name again? I'm sorry. Well, this is a pretty nice spot. It's a very tall, steep hill to come up. I don't know if you can see. That's almost as steep as the one I just came up. But, there's a little switchback down here.
guess that's almost a switchback right there. The switchback down here, and rutted out road. Obviously, people come up here, but it's probably hunters, and at least people with four-wheel drive. I would imagine that most people have better sense than to come up here. But yeah, I'm gonna mark this. I'm probably gonna go back to town, get my gear, come set up my hammock up here. I think we're probably close to 11,000 feet up here. See if I can find out. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. There is not a peep of a sound up here. Looks like there's some mosquitoes. Man, I'd much rather deal with mosquitoes than generators and dogs and screaming kids. Jesus. I bet there's people that have come in since I left this morning. I bet there's probably 2 or 3 people that have come into that little spot. So kind of excited. I'm going to mark this on my maps. That way I know how to get back up here. And then I'll casually look for some other stuff on the way out. Maybe close to the town. But I think I'm probably about the same distance from town as I am at my other campsite now. I'm halfway around the lake at least, so I think I'm pretty close. So pussified, but it's kind of tricky shit. Even though I got a great bike and I've got the knowledge how to navigate all this stuff, doesn't mean it's not tricky. Doesn't mean I can't make a mistake. And a mistake is so much more costly now. Yeah, you can kind of see it's steep, and that was a pretty nice switchback. I wonder if it's easier to see the ruts on this side, because as you're going uphill, these little washes that they've dug out hide the nasty stuff. I think this is coming up on the steepest section. Yeah, I don't remember. The good thing about a bike like this is I can get off of the freaking trail pretty easily. Get off the highway pretty easily. I think this is going to be blocked. Yeah, it's blocked by a fence. Have to find out how many people have come in since I left.
I mentioned earlier that I unknowingly at the time I had a friend that was hanging out in this little music festival. The weird thing was, I came home one day and this good-looking woman comes running out towards the road, waving at me, and she turned around like she was having fun with her friends. I didn't pay much attention after that. I would have slowed down. I thought maybe it might be a fan or something, and but yeah, it turns out that my friend Matt was hanging out here at the music festival, and on top of all that, a guy that was camped down the road here came walking through my camp and invited me to the festival. And I was like, yeah, just I don't know if I want to hang out with people tonight. And I just never went down there, and I regret that now. Now that the girl that ran out to me has a YouTube channel, and she reached out to me on one of my videos and said, yeah, you were at our camp, and I hate it.
Watching the tracking, the tire was supposed to be here yesterday, and of course it didn't show. And I said, maybe you'll get it on the 29th. Fuck you, Amazon. So I was so disgusted. Well, the rest of the story. Rest of the story is I was tracking it today, just to see maybe it'll show up today, because I can't imagine it's in Denver, or it was in Denver yesterday. And then I look at it today and it's like, oh, it's in Buena Vista. Except no, it got shipped back to the seller because the tire's damaged. How do you damage a tire in shipping? Maybe they just shipped me a shitty tire and somebody looked at it and was like, this tire's all busted up. Anyway, the tire's going back to the seller. I'm done with Amazon. In fact, I just canceled my Prime membership. I tried to cancel it last year, and they fucked me. They turned it back on, which is what they did again this year. And then I had to call the girl on the phone and say, hey, yeah, I'm trying to cancel. You guys did the same thing to me last year. You just decided that my little cancel my subscription switch didn't work. And she's like, okay. And she refunded turned off my subscription, refunded my money. I'll never get another Prime subscription. I'm probably done ordering shit on Prime or Amazon anyway. Everything they do is just shitty. They used to be the best. They used to be the cheapest. 2-day shipping. Now it's like, we say it'll be there in 3 days, but as soon as you hit checkout, it goes, well, it'll be there next week. 10 days maybe, I don't know. I'm sick of it. I'm done with Amazon. So I called, I typed in Google, motorcycle tires near me. Silverthorne, Colorado, 31 miles away. I could probably be there by noon tomorrow. Change my tire, then go look for a camp tomorrow somewhere around Silverthorne. I think I've parked overnight there in my schoolie, but it's been a while. Silverthorne, I can't remember. There's another town around there too, and it's pretty high elevation too. I think it's close to 10,000 feet over there. Anyway, now I don't have to worry about finding a campsite around here. Kind of done with Leadville anyway. Their fucking grocery store sucks. Their Family Dollar sucks. I'm not really impressed with the city of Leadville. I got to tell you, I think there's an interesting culture here and very interesting history, but maybe the way people treat you is better in Silverthorne. I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time up in that part of the state. I've always been traveling through. I've always been riding through. I think I've camped close to there before, but anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna give me some coffee in the morning, maybe some hot Asian soup, and then say, fuck it, I'm on the road. And fuck Amazon for the last time. Fuck y'all. Everybody's got tires. I can get tires. But just think, convenience, because I'm thinking, I don't even think the only motorcycle shop this side of the mountains is that I can think of was in Buena Vista, but I don't think they're open anymore. I think it's a snowmobile and side by side. I don't think they got motorcycle tires, so I didn't even stop. But anyway, anybody that's maybe that's what I should be doing consistently now, is just supporting the local dealers. They're wanting $200 for a tire versus $100 for the tire that I ordered. I'll get over it. As long as I can make it home on the tire that they sell me. And that's another update. I got to go home. I got business. So I've got less than a month out here. And I got to go home to that sticky Alabama heat. I may turn around and come right back up here. Who's going to stop me? So, mixing up some breakfast noodles. And when I first heard about people eating noodles for breakfast, I was like, oh, that's gross. I mean, I love Asian noodles. Golly, I think first time I saw them was late 70s, early 80s. They started shipping them over here, and they just had the one brand. And this is Nong Shim. If you have a chance to get into the store and try some out for yourself. There's a bunch of crappy brands out there now, but Nong Shim is the shit. They have the Korean noodles, which are just out of this world. And they're still cheap, $1.50. Anyway, this is Nong Shim. This is one of the other types. I don't usually see these in the store, so I got this. But yeah, I said the same thing until gross noodles for breakfast, until I realized that that was a popular thing for Asian breakfast, is this and some meat and something else. I was like, okay, well, if they're doing it, if they're slurping at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna slurp too. I'm not a big slurper, but when you eat soup, you tend to slurp. And on top of that, I crunch my noodles up before I throw the boiling water in there or put them in the microwave, whatever. Crunch my noodles up so it's not 2-foot long noodles I'm sucking up into my face. Usually it's only an inch. I'm getting ready to roll out. Pack up. It's probably going to take me at least an hour to pack up. I'll start the timer. Got my coffee. Got my Asian noodles. Spicy seafood Asian noodles. Also, I'm gonna spend $200 and something on a tire today, and that's gonna cut into my cash reserves, which means I'm running out of time. Well, I'm running out of time anyway. I gotta go back to Alabama. I got business that I can't avoid anymore. But I'm running out of money. So I'm thinking this is the time to see if I can live on $10 a day. Food, anyway. I know I could do it. I just don't know how painful it's going to be. Because usually, I wouldn't say I eat pretty well, but I don't eat out that much. And I don't skimp on food typically. But you can live cheaply. I only eat typically one meal a day. I may have a snack before, but usually I have one meal a day dinner. And so I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to do $10 a day than most people. But we're gonna see for the rest of the trip. I think I got 3 more weeks out here. Welcome to the most dangerous part of my riding day. Freshly loaded up, rolling out of camp. Luckily, my path out of here is relatively straight. So, it's not an uphill, quick turn, switchback kind of thing. I think I'm okay. If I get past this tree that's hanging right in front of me, if I can prevent myself from stalling the motorcycle, there it went. Yeah, this clutch might be a bad thing. Man, I don't remember having any problems with the clutch. Significant problems with the clutch on the tat. It was there. Man, I'm so freaking happy to be leaving this place. All these freaking hillbillies. And then on to Silverthorne to pick up a tire and maybe camp around there. I'm just not familiar with Silverthorne like I am a lot of Colorado. It's around the I-70 area. I've been up and down the corridor quite a few times, just haven't spent that much time around it. That's a lot of freaking sheep. I think that's about a third of the sheep that are out here. There's got to be at least a 12. Yeah. There's a big sheepdog out here too. I saw him earlier.